Last row, lady, please get up. Who's not in uniform? Whoever is not in uniform, please get up. जो भी यूनिफॉर्म में नहीं है, प्लीज बाहर चले जाओ वॉलंटरली. Just check ना. Someone just check. Whoever is not in uniform, let them please go. हाथ टूटा हुआ है तो ठीक है. Proportion में चाहिए कि सर से दूसरा दूर होगा. He's a good doctor. ब्रिटिश चाहिए तो जीजी सर है.
Welcome to a brand new day filled with fresh hopes, exciting opportunities, and new frontiers to conquer. As we embrace the challenges of an ever changing, dynamic business world, Yatha chitta tatha vacha, yatha vacha tatha karma. Meaning, as is your mind, so is your speech. As is your speech, so is your action. Good morning. I, Sarita Kitte, a student manager at Balaji Institute of Modern Management, specializing in personal management and human resource development, intern at JSW Steel.
Kushagra Krishna, also a senior student manager at Balaji Institute of Modern Management, specializing in personnel management and human resource development, with internship experience at IFCO. We
We
are
are
honored
honored
to
to
be
be
your
your
masters
masters
of
of
ceremony
ceremony
for
for
today's
today's
event.
event.
Today, we are privileged to welcome eminent personalities from a highly reputed multinational company in the manufacturing sector, Mr. Ajit Talreja, Director and Head HR, Cummins Power Systems India, and Madam Mausami Roy Chaudhary, HR Leader, General Manager, Cummins India. Sir and Madam, Sri Balaji University Pune is deeply committed to cultivating a diverse and comprehensive knowledge base. Our rigorous curriculum, guided by experienced faculty, ensures we acquire the foundational knowledge required to excel in the corporate world. Through our eminent lecture series, Harvard Business Review case studies, numerous workshops on soft skill enhancements, team building exercises, and mandatory summer internships, we not only learn theoretical concepts but also gain practical applications that prepare us for the challenges ahead.
At Sri Balaji University, Pune, we give equal importance to academics, co curricular activities, and sports for holistic development of our student managers. We also prioritize emotional intelligence, training, and draw leadership lessons from Mahabharata, enabling us to extract timeless management principles applicable to modern business and leadership.
In addition, student managers SBUP undergo comprehensive and personality assessments. These help us understand our personality traits, abilities, and behavioral styles, as well as how people think, feel, and act. These processes play an instrumental role in shaping well rounded individuals fully prepared to excel in the corporate world.
Sri Balaji Society, the sponsoring body of Sri Balaji University, began its journey in 1998. Initially, the B schools under the SBS functioned from the rented premises of Agrasen High School, Yerwada. In 2006, we moved to our very own campus. Through this untiring efforts, discipline, dedication, and determination of our founder, late Professor Dr. Colonel A. Balasubramanian Sir, we accorded the status of a university by the Government of Maharashtra in 2019. Thus, our beloved Bala Sir became the founder, Chancellor. Sri Balaji University is proud to be among the pioneers in India to reserve 50% of its seats for women right from its inception. Students here come from diverse geographies across our great nation, ensuring a vibrant and inclusive learning environment.
The Balaji Institute of Modern Management BIMM is proud of its sister management institutes, namely Balaji Institute of International Business BIIB, Balaji Institute of Technology and Management BITM, Balaji Institute of Management and Human Resource Development BIMHRD.
SBUP functions on its core values of discipline, dedication, and determination. These values foster a culture of fairness, trust, equal opportunities, and individual dignity. At SBUP, we believe that every student, regardless of background, deserves an equal opportunity to succeed and grow. On this occasion, we fondly remember our founder, president, and founder chancellor, late Professor Dr. Colonel A. Balasubramanian Sir, lovingly known as Bala Sir. Bala Sir firmly believed that every student possesses immense talent and potential. He championed the idea of providing a platform to nurture, grow, and hone that talent. In keeping with his vision, all functions and events at SBUP are organized, coordinated, and executed by students under the guidance of our directors, deputy directors, and esteemed faculty members.
Our incumbent young and dynamic Chancellor, Professor B. Paramanandan, is carrying forward Balasar's legacy. Along with our Honorable Vice Chancellor, who is an accomplished academician, they are steering SBUP towards new heights of innovation and expansion. May I now request Dr. Bhushan Pednekar, Professor, Department of PM and HRD, to welcome Ajit Talreja sir with a bouquet. Thank you, sir. And now I request Anvesha Gorai and Astha Agarwal, Senior Restaurant Managers, to welcome our proud alumna, Mrs. Mausami Roy Chaudhary, with a bouquet.
May I now request my colleague Anvesha Gorai to introduce Ajit Talreja sir.
Thank you, Sarita and Kushagra. Good morning, everyone. I, Anvesha Korai, Senior Student Manager at Balaji Institute of Modern Management, specializing in PM and HRD, interned at Mr. Kitchen, Pune. Today, it's my absolute honor to introduce someone whose professional journey is a masterclass in dedication, leadership, and people first think, Mr. Ajit Talreja. Born and raised in Indore, a city famous for its culture, warmth, and food, Mr. Talreja has carried those values into a remarkable 20-year career in human resources across public sector enterprises, private corporations, and global MNCs. He began as a management trainee with IPCL, became a part of Reliance Industries post merger, and then joined ICICI Lombard, leading HR initiatives across India. For the last 15 years, he has been with Cummins India, where he now serves as the director and head HR for their largest business segment, Power Systems, leading a team of 30 HR professionals and managing over 3,500 employees across five major manufacturing locations. But beyond the impressive titles, what makes him truly inspiring is his beliefs in people, his commitment to corporate responsibility, and his ability to balance work with family life in Pune, alongside his wife, a passionate patisserie, and their two children. He is also someone who finds joy in event management, technology, and a good game of volleyball. Please join me giving a warm round of applause to welcome Mr. Ajit Talreja. So the stage is all yours. Thank you, sir.
With presentation,
Yes, sir.
I can start with the presentation. Okay, morning everyone. Okay, first of all, I'm extremely excited, happy being back in a college, and I have one of my colleagues, Moshmi, she is your proud alumni. It's extremely happy to be here. I recall 20 years back when I was doing my MBA, and I have a similar auditorium sitting on that side of a table, hearing to some of the leaders or the industry experts who used to come and talk to us about various topics. So when I got an invite from your college and I come to know Moshmi has been part of your college, I immediately said yes. This is a college that we should go and we should talk about some of the topics. And then ma'am sent me some relevant topics which we could speak about. And team, I have picked three topics that we will talk to you about today. And then we will like to spend more time on question and answers because in my career also I've gained a lot of help when I've asked a lot of questions to the people who have already been through that journey. So how can you ask a lot of good questions to us, put us in difficult spots, especially to Moshmi, she's from your college. So you could ask all the tougher questions to her and lighter ones to me. So ask as many questions that you have in your mind to clarify any doubts you have. So maybe we could put up the presentation. Perfect. So the topics we thought will come to you today, one was asked from your college itself, and that really hits the note, is on the career readiness. So all of you are at a stage where you are looking forward to a career ahead. So we wanted to talk a bit about what is career. How can you prepare yourself better for a readiness for your career? Second, as we have Moshmi along with us, she will share her journey into a corporate world, especially into HR, how she has grown in various organizations and how has she reached where she is today. Second topic we thought will really help you is HR is changing. The way we used to do HR earlier is changing significantly in last few years, and we see a glimpse of that HR in the near future. So we'll show you a real life model of how HR works at Cummins India. And third topic, which really excited me nowadays, is based on one of the hobbies or passion I have is on the technology front. Artificial intelligence is gaining a lot and lot of ground. So I've been speaking very extensively on this topic of artificial intelligence in some forum. So I've just picked a few slides for all of you. You are in HR, you are into, I heard, data science. Some of you are from digital as well. So I think that term of artificial intelligence is everywhere. So we said we will talk a bit about artificial intelligence as well. So these are the three topics. Maybe we'll spend 10 to 15 minutes on each topic and then be open to more of question answers. The first topic that we want to talk about, team, is on a career progression. Yeah, I could see it there. So the first thing I want to talk about is career DNA, which is SWOT, strength, weakness, opportunity, threat, and a self-awareness. So maybe we'll do a quick small exercise with all of you. Okay, can all of us close our eyes for 10 seconds or 20 seconds and think through 5 years down the line in your career? All of you are pursuing your MBA today. Just think of a scenario 5 years down the line. Where do you see yourself? Do you see yourself in a corporate like me and Moshmi working into a corporate setup? Do you see yourself working on a startup of your own, starting your own business? Or do you see yourself somewhere on a beach, maybe on a different foreign nation, working in your pajamas and doing a work from home? Where exactly do you see yourself? So just keep that answer to yourself. And now open your eyes. The first thing, team, I want to tell you is whatever you think through can really become a reality. But fortunately or unfortunately, for many of us, that doesn't become a reality because you're not necessarily aware about your career DNA. So that's what I want you to think through. What is that really excites you in your career, in your lives? That's the career DNA I'm talking about. Now, this DNA will come to you from a SWOT analysis. What is SWOT? What is my strength, weakness, opportunity, threat? And what is my strength? Maybe it's communication. Maybe it's adaptability. Could adapt to a lot of situations. And I have been into born and brought up at Indore, but I did my MBA from somewhere else. My first job was with IPCL in Gujarat. I traveled to 6 cities with my first experience, and I adopted to all the 6 plants that were there. So, what is the strengths I have? I'm extremely good into data analytics. Maybe some of the projects that you are doing and you see that data analytics is something that has really excited me. So think through what are some of the strengths you really have. Then think through the weaknesses and what are the weaknesses which are not there. Maybe I'm not so open to a conflicting situation. I get pressurized when somebody bullies me or somebody asks me a tough question. I'm not ready for that. So what is that one thing that you feel you really have a weakness? I don't understand financial so much, and I need to call my CA to understand. I need to go to my papa and say कि कैसे खर्चा करूँ, कहाँ पे पैसे बचाऊँ, है ना? Like my father was the first one who started my PPF account, and I'm like इसका क्या करना है, 10,000 रुपए सैलरी में जा रहे, कौन देगा? So what is that weakness that you really think that you have? What are the opportunities in front of you and what are the threats? Threat is technology, for example. If technology comes really fast, how am I gonna adopt to that change is the threat that I see for myself. So just take this exercise as you go back after the session, write a SWOT for yourself. What is the SWOT analysis that you see? And then post this, think through the career that you have in mind when you have your eyes closed for 20 seconds. And how can you write a path for that career? What kind of steps do I need to do in order to reach that career exactly 5 years down the line? So that is my first input to you. Second thing that I've written there is self-awareness. So observe yourself, what exactly are the situations that you really enjoy and what are the situations where you are not enjoying it so much or you feel terrified to be in that opportunity and are terrified to be with some of the people that makes you feel uncomfortable while you are in their company. There are people who makes you comfortable when you are in their company. So this is the self awareness we are talking about. I am an introvert by nature, for example, and I could go to a lot of such sessions, talk to 500 odd audience but by nature I'm extremely introvert, and I get my energy when I go back to my home. रात को जगजीत सिंह का गाना सुनेंगे. That's the time I get my energy back from. Day in, day out, as a HR leader, I am a HR leader for 3,500 employees. I have 7 plants. Something or else keep going wrong at some place of time. And day before yesterday, there was a small fire incident in my plant. Few days back in the night, there was a small safety incident. And some people have a quarrel in plant. There is a conflict between two leaders. So I have to talk so much throughout my day. By the time I reach home, I'm like dead person. And then my wife is saying, मेरे से ही बात नहीं करेगा ये लड़का, बाकी सबसे बात करके आएगा. The only place he doesn't want to talk is with me. And so I need my energies back. So what is that time where so you need to think through, where do you get your energy from? And do you get your energy by talking to people? Do you get your energy by a small group of people? I get my energy by talking to people, but ये जो आसपास में बैठे ना, इन्हीं के साथ बात करने से लगती है, जो पीछे बैठे उनसे बात करने से नहीं लगती. So this is the self-awareness. What exactly do you like? What you don't like? Now, one thing is you look forward to a career which helps you build on those strengths, or you build your muscles, and are not necessarily these muscles, but your brain muscles, that I will change myself and I will learn about how to deal with extroverts, how I will learn about people are extremely assertive, for example. So that's the self-awareness I'm talking about. Just do this SWOT exercise, a bit of a self-awareness, and see exactly what kind of a careers will you prefer. And I'm sure all of you are looking at Shark Tanks nowadays. And I will not be surprised if I see some of you in those Shark Tanks pitching for a entrepreneurial business that you are all looking forward. So just think through what exactly you want to start, and take my words, you could do it bit easily at the start of your career. As you grow more into careers, it's getting tougher and tougher with kind of a responsibility getting added on. Making a move is not that easy. Earlier you could do some learning and mistakes, maybe try a few things. As you grow older, it's getting tough to try on to new. So that's the first thought that I want to leave with all of you. Second is future proof your career. And a lot of new technologies coming, the old learnings may not work. I'm going to talk about artificial intelligence in the world and especially in HR. So how am I, a 20 years plus experienced person, shaping up for such kind of a technology which is coming up, and what more you want to learn from the future things. Third, communication is not just a key, it's a currency. You get a lot of things done through your communication. And I just imagine again, you are sitting in a group discussion or you are sitting in a personal interview, how much time you get in front of that panel? 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes max. And what stands out is one, what all work you have done, and second is काम करना भी आना चाहिए, दिखाना भी आना चाहिए. So how are you gonna make sure that in that 20 to 30 minutes you are able to express yourself? Now, I'm not just talking about English as a language, that I should be really good into English, I should be really good into grammars, I should use some good jargons to impress my panel. I'm gonna be a panel who will be extremely happy to hear about the varied experiences that you are gonna have with all of you. And I'm sure all of you have seen YouTubes and various kind of a movie. You have seen the movie Padman, right? What was the name of the person? So I looked at movie and there was a speech of this guy in a United Nations Assembly. He spoke into tutti frutti English, but the message he gave really impressed the entire audience and everybody clapped for him. So I'm talking about that communication, not just the spoken English here. What's the message you are leaving back to the panel at the end of that 15 minutes, 20 minutes? एक इंटरव्यू 5 मिनट चलता है and I'm like, yeah, this is the boy, this is the girl I'm looking forward. एक इंटरव्यू आधा घंटा चलता है. पता है आधा घंटा क्यों चलता है? Because I'm thinking, is this the right person or no? So what is that difference? है ना? That difference is all about your attitude, about your experience, and the way you are able to communicate there. I think that brings me to the fourth topic. Attitude is a career multiplier. I am into HR, right? I am a MBA HR and IT, है ना? I'm good into marketing. I'm good into branding, finance. I'm a BCom commerce graduate. I fill my own ITR even today. Nobody can fool me on the financial that are there. I work a lot on the marketing of my organization. I am the one who is responsible for a lot of branding for my organization. So today, if worst case situation, if my job is taken by AI, for example, can I switch to branding? Can I switch to marketing? Can I switch to finance? Why can't I switch? In Cummins, we have this philosophy called hire to develop, where you could make your switches from one career to another every 2 years. I think that's the beauty about this concept, and you could do it when you have the right attitude to multiply your career. The fifth thing that I want to talk about is your personal branding and networking. How do you create your own personal branding? What is your USP? What is that unique thing that makes you different from all the 200 people who are sitting here in the room? So that I'm talking about your own personal branding. How do you differentiate yourself from the others? And second is networking. I was talking to your placement ma'am here. I said that my network is my college placement officer. Now that placement officer have network with 100 plus companies. I only have network with that person. Now with that network, I've opened up 100 more networks for myself. So maybe you are someone who is good into networking. Maybe you are not good into networking, but at least the one thing that we do in our organization is we have a networking sheet. Who are the key people in our life who could help us in difficult situation, who could help influence the world for you? So I'm not just talking about networking in a sense कि चलो इनके साथ चाय पी के आते हैं and the networking happens. I'm talking about some bit of a relation, some kind of a work, a project that you may do for that person, some kind of a work so that that person make an observation about you. How do you build those positive networks? And lastly, team, stay resilient and adopt. These are tougher days with technical disruptions coming up a lot. It's time that we be resilient. And we have all gone through a pandemic which is called COVID. We have stayed in that, and people have not even come to a college and they have completed their MBAs. So you have seen those kind of a worlds with the kind of a Russia-Ukraine wars that is happening. Every day we are about a US Trump tariff coming India way. How does it impact Cummins India? So we have to be really resilient and adopt to these pandemic kind of a situations or the new challenges that are coming in our way. So this is what I wanted to talk about career readiness. I will call upon my colleague Moshmi. The intent is from career readiness that you just saw. Let's see a real life example how she has done her career into a corporate world, and then we hit upon few more topics. Thank you so much.
May I now request my colleague Astha Agarwal to introduce Mosmi Roy Chaudhary Madam.
Thank you, Sarita. Thank you, Kushagra. Good morning, everyone. I'm Astha Agrawal, Senior Student Manager at Balaji Institute of Modern Management, specializing in personal management and human resource development, interned at Action TESA. It's my absolute pleasure to introduce today's guest, someone who once sat where we sit now. Except she didn't had the privilege in terms of infrastructure that we have today. However, what she had was much more valuable than that. A chance to learn from Bala Sir himself. Through sheer discipline, dedication, and determination, she has since gone on to make an exceptional mark in the field of human resource. Born and raised in Raipur, Chhattisgarh, she pursued her undergraduate degree in commerce before completing her PGDM in human resource right here at BIMM. Back then, when it was known as IIMM, Indian Institute of Modern Management. Over the past 18 years, she has built a stellar career across manufacturing, pharmaceutical, and BFSI sector, contributing to both Indian and global companies. She began her journey with Novartis Healthcare and went on to hold key roles at ACC Cement, Bajaj Alliance, and Tata BlueScope Steel. Today, she serves as HR business partner at Cummins India, where she leads strategic business initiatives that aligns people practices with business goals. Her expertise spans talent acquisition, performance management, compensation and benefit, industrial relation, HR operation, and strategic business partnering across both corporate and plant environment. Ma'am, we are eager to hear about your journey in detail from your point of view. So please join me in giving a warm welcome to our accomplished alumni and today's guest lecturer, Madam Mosmi Roy Chaudhary. Ma'am, the stage is all yours.
And I am all thrilled. And I thank Ajit for actually remembering that I am from BIMM. And when he got that email, he instantly messaged me. I was in a training and he messaged me, "Is this your college?" And I said, "Yes, this is my alma mater." And he said, "Then okay, then we are going. And, why don't you join me?" And I was thrilled. I said that, it will be my pleasure to go to my college and address my people, my students. And I was one of all of you who was sitting not in this auditorium, but yes, in the Agrasen campus. And for me, that campus is very, very close to heart. We have spent some, good 2 years in that campus. Although this campus gives me a lot of goosebumps, and I have a lot of scary stories because we were here for our campus placements. So you can understand what it was and how those days were. I'm not going to share those scary stories, but some of the great stories and learnings that I had the privilege to get from Mr. Bala, and we used to call him Bala sir. And today I am really emotional when I see all the pictures around, but he's not amongst us today standing. And talking about the three Ds, I was talking to Vikas sir, वो three Ds अभी भी है कि नहीं? The three Ds, and he said yes, the discipline, determination, and dedication. And I would personally say that, back then when I was sitting, in the BIMM uniform, I used to feel कि सच में है क्या? I mean, is it really important? But today, standing here, I can really tell you these three Ds are something which is going to differentiate you from the other MBAs. And Bala sir always used to say this, and somehow it never used to go in our head so much as it went when we were in the corporate. And always till today, when I go for any interviews, and Ajit has taken one or two interviews of mine where I have said that these are my core values. The three Ds, the discipline, determination, and dedication. Well, I'll be talking about my career journey. I will be telling you how these three Ds have helped me through navigate my career. And I think more than what I've read in the classrooms, I have, the learning that stayed with me are the three Ds, and of course, problems are opportunities. And till today, and Ajit knows, I was in the midst of a big problem in one of my plant locations. And all the time that I used to remind on my head or remind myself that, problems are opportunities. And trust me, it is still giving me goosebumps. And when we used to hear from Bala sir, it was a different feeling. But I've really lived it. And I would say that he had some wonderful stories to share with us. I do have, but not as great as his. But I would really say that yes, problems are opportunities. And whenever you are faced with problems, please deal it in that manner, because that gives you the strength and resilience to face the problem and come out as as a leader, I would say. And it needs a lot of strength, and keep reminding yourself that yes, problems are opportunities. And trust me, I have actually faced it in my 18 years of careers, that problems are opportunities, and I take it like that. I always tell my team that don't be scared of problems, because till the time we get the problem in hand, we would not know what potential we carry in our hand. And I think that's what he always used to say. And the way he has brought us was very different than I see the other MBA graduates. We were very different even in the corporate. The kind of schedules we have, I am sure your schedules are very different, and I'm really jealous about the schedule you guys have now. But we had a very different schedule. The late night, the early mornings, 4 o'clock, wearing saris. I tell my colleagues that I can wear sari and run a marathon. And I think I learned it, as I joined BIMM. So today there was no second thought as to what I'm wearing. It's my college, and the college has taught me how to wear sari and run and stay in office for n number of hours without having the feeling of getting tired, because that's what we used to do when we were in Agrasen campus. Till 12 o'clock, we used to have our sessions. 12 midnight I'm talking about. And at times we had to get ready at 4 o'clock in the morning wearing saris. So those were the days, and I still recollect, I'm recollecting now, and those were the wonderful days, I would tell you. And that really made us ready for the corporate. And Bala sir always used to say कि ये सब इसलिए करा रहा हो so that you get ready for the corporate. At times we used to feel कि सच में ऐसा होता है, but yes, that's the differentiators. We can stretch ourselves as much as the corporate want. Not everybody can do that because we are trained that way. So I think those were blessings in disguise of Agrasen campus, I would say. And moving on to the next slide, I would just take you through my career journey. I am 2004 2006 MBA PM and HRD from BIMM. I've also done my master's in labor law and labor welfare from Pune University. That was from Balaji Law College. I'm sure most of you would be doing the same. And back then, I did my winter internship. We used to have 3 months winter internship, which I did in Adani Group. Back then, nobody knew the Adani Group at all. I think we were 4 of us from the entire Balaji group who were, then were part of the Adani Group as internship. We were not paid anything. I was in Ahmedabad, and it was a great learning experience for me. I have not mentioned my internship journey, but I thought to just share that, all of us were so scared whether we are going to get internship or not. We were a group of 75 HR students. Bala sir used to be stressed all the time. He used to say that I'm not sure, I'm really not sure how you guys are going to get placed. And now being in corporate, I think he did a commendable job of getting all of us placed year on year. And it again gives me goosebumps when I say this, that he did a commendable job. And now when I am in corporate, and not I've in my entire career I've never done campus hiring. I think today while I was reflecting on this, I realized that's the only thing I've not done. So, but I can tell you that it's not an easy task what the college does for us. And I'm really grateful, to the entire Balaji Institute for, giving us that launching pad. It's not easy for the college, I can tell you from where I come from. All right, so moving here, I started in a company known as Novartis Healthcare Private Limited. This is a pharma company. It was based out in Hyderabad, in Mumbai. So I worked with them in Mumbai and then moved with them to Hyderabad. It was while I started as a management trainee, and it was kind of a HR generalist role that I performed here. I worked with them for 2 years, moving on to a different industry altogether, cement manufacturing, from a pharma industry, and that too, Novartis of this segment was a GCC. So, a kind of a shared service unit for Novartis and Global. So, a very different business and very different working culture than what where I went in ACC Cements. Again, different. I took that challenge as an opportunity, and I worked here as a talent acquisition. I went as a team member, and eventually I started leading the lateral hiring for entire 13 plants of ACC Cements. We have a lot of our college, I had a lot of my batchmates in ACC Cements. It was a great learning experience. They were all campus hires at that point of time. From there, I worked in ACC corporate office, which is in Mumbai Churchgate, which was in Mumbai Churchgate, because now the company has been taken over by Adani, and the corporate office is now moved to Ahmedabad. So that was my stint in ACC. Moving from there, I went to an organization. This is BFSI, Bajaj Allianz Life Insurance, the Yerwada office next to Gunjan Theatres. Again, a different industry, from pharma here to cement manufacturing, and now to BFSI. Uh, you need to be very, very agile and very adaptable to changes. So, again, I've learned this, while being in the college. Again, my profile here was completely different. I am in this organization, I was into performance and rewards. Entire performance management and compensation and benefits is what I did as a center of excellence role. A good 2 year stint. And from here, I moved into an organization named Tata Blue Scope Steel. It's a joint venture between Tata Steel and Blue Scope Steel. Again, Tata Blue Scope Steel hire a lot of people from Balaji Institute, and I myself have hired a lot of people off campus from Balaji Institute. So that's Tata Blue Scope Steel. My 10 years career journey, I have done several roles there, from uh, COE, Center of Excellence Compensation and Benefit role, to managing site HR, to managing multiple plants, getting exposure into industrial relations, and working in several LTS, working in a unionized setup. Great learning experience here, and then I am currently associated within Cummins. I am part of the Tata Cummins JV, which makes engine for Tata Motors, and I'm part of the engine business and part of Tata Cummins entity. I started as the site HR leader for TCPL, which is Tata Cummins Private Limited, Fulton. I have two of my plant locations in Fulton, so I keep shuttling between Fulton and Pune. And currently, I am the HR business partner for Tata Cummins Fulton, and for some more functions of Tata Cummins, not getting into those technicalities. So when I reflect on my career journey, it has been all about, very diverse profiles, all about being more agile, all about being more adaptable to the situations. And I think many of it is what Ajit covered in his slides. So, the more agile you are, the more ready you are to do new roles, to accept problems as opportunities, and be very disciplined and determined to what you have started and to complete. Because many a times people would start something but may not want to complete because they are not that disciplined, or the determination is not there. So I think these two D's are very, very important, and I keep the three D's as very close to my heart even till today. Um, I think that's about my career journey, and I think we'll go to question and answers next. I think we can move on to the next slide. Ajit, I'll cover this one. Yeah. So you've seen the roles that I have performed throughout my career journey. And this is how is the operating model at Cummins. Cummins has undergone several transformation, and Ajit can add in because he's been a long timer in Cummins. For me, it's just 3 years in Cummins now, and he has seen a lot of transformation in terms of different HR structures. So while you feel that we just get placements and we'll just get a role, it doesn't happen like that. You need to be as agile all the time as you are now as a student. So for us, learning has just not stopped because earlier we were in a different operating model to a new operating model. So we are also learning different ways of working within our organization setup, and that would not stop for any of you as you get into corporates. I think the learning will never stop. You will have to be change ready all the time, and I think these things are again very very important for you as professionals as you get into corporate. So this is the Cummins HR model that we have currently. The HR team is divided into these three segments, I would say. So we have HR operations, which is our biggest HR group here. And this team is the face of our employees and is the largest employee group and is one point contact for all of our employee queries. So they handle most of the HR processes such as time management, payroll processing, uh, recruitment. We have a COE function, and all the employee related queries is what this operation teams, and they are kind of a backbone for the entire HR function. They focus on operational excellence completely. Then we have a group which is Center of Excellence, a relatively very small group because these people are subject matter expert of their areas. The function that gets into Center of Excellence are talent acquisition, compensation and benefits, learning and development, and diversity, equity, inclusion, and culture. So these are the four functions largely in most of the organization. You will see that they do Center of Excellence role. They are basically the subject matter experts and very few handful in numbers for the organization. And this team helps the businesses to have more customized solution, to have more research driven solution, and they are very much in touch with the market to understand what is the industry, how is the industry going. They do a lot of research in their areas because they are kind of an advisors and consultants for the HR business partners. Then we have a relatively smaller group than the HR operations team as the HR business partners. And this group is kind of a link between the business and the employees. This group largely works on strategic projects such as workforce planning, talent strategies for the businesses, for the respective businesses. Um, we also work as culture champions for our respective business units. We work as leadership coach. Our biggest responsibility is to coach and mentor the leaders on people related matters. And we are a kind of a functional facilitators. So we leverage and collaborate with HR operations, with Center of Excellence to provide value to the business. So if there is any issue or matter that I have in hand today, I get to HR operations team, I get to Center of Excellence, and we leverage them and give the solutions to the business. So this HR business partners, we are kind of a link, and we leverage the entire functions to get required support to the business. We also work as change agents, and we also works towards organizational effectiveness. So this is what is mostly you will find the HR business partners would do. Most of the HR business partners are like those who have good number of experience in the industry and have around 10 to 12 plus years of experience in the industry, and then you get into the partnering domain. The college hires in Cummins gets into the role of HR operations because there is what you learn the core concepts of human resources, and then of course the movement is always open in Cummins as an organization. Uh, we allow people to move, and there is a lot of free flow of movement of resources within Cummins, within different functions, within different entities. So that's a great thing that happens at Cummins. So this is about what we wanted to showcase to you, that how HR functions in corporate. Now this is just one of the model. There are several models which is there in the industry, but this is the current operating model that we have in Cummins. Anything you would like to add, Ajit?
Okay, Moshmi, thank you. So, team, I think Moshmi covered this really important topic. Let me give you a context. This is the model we adopted in January 2025. So I am leading HR for Power Systems of India. Cummins India is a 36,000 CR organization with 11,000 employees. I lead HR for Power Systems, which is the biggest business we have with 10,000 plus CR of business and 3,500 plus employees. I have a team size of 32 HRs. So 3,500 plus employees, 30 plus HR. So roughly for 100 to 150 employees, you have one HR. That's the ballpark number. Keep with yourself. And so what are the kind of HR you have in an organization? So these 32 people, everybody was reporting to me in the hierarchy. Since first gen, only 6 of us are HR business partner. So we are the ones who looks into the business strategy and how things are changing, what exactly should be our people strategy to support business. And remaining 24, 25 of these people are now part of HR operations. They don't directly report into us, dotted line in a sense. We are the one who gives a lot of work, asks for a lot of data from them. So they are the ones who are mainly working for employees at a office level or a plant level. So if I'm a college hire like you get first into a operations role where you do what? You are the advisor to an employee that anybody could come and ask that, hey Priyal, this is the question I have for you. So you are the front face of an employee that this is exactly, I want to apply for a casual leave. I want to take benefit of a education policy. Any questions that comes your way, you are the advisor who respond to the employee. Then you have specialists who do all the performance management, data analytics. So some of the digital people here, data specialists, they are the ones who do a lot of analytics for us. And then you have employee relation and compliance. So you have plant, you have to do a lot of compliance, you have to do a lot of employee relations. So these are kind of a roles that a college hire gets into. So this is the model. This is a new model. You will see this model in a lot of multinational nowadays because that's what business is asking, that we need partners who helps us think through the strategy long time. And then you have a team which manages day-to-day employee issues. So these are the two bifurcation in HR. And you always have a third arm, which is the specialist group, the center of expertise. They are compensation and benefits, labor relations, talent acquisition. These are the kind of roles that exist in an organization. Okay, team will quickly try wrap it up in next 10 minutes. I will talk about a really interesting topic now, which is artificial intelligence. Okay, raise of hands. How many of you have ever used Amazon or Netflix? I'm looking at any hand which is not up. Amazon and Netflix. So all of you have seen Amazon and Netflix. Have you ever seen that whenever you open a Amazon, it kind of gives you a recommendation, buy this. And you open a Netflix and it gives you a recommendation, why don't you watch this movie? That, my dear friends, is machine learning, which is nothing but a machine is looking at the data and it's prescribing something. I watched a movie, next time I go on a Netflix, it says similar kind of a movie, Ajit, why don't you watch this? My wife opens up Amazon and then it shows her, why don't you buy this also? And I get a ping that this expense was made, right? So based on the audience, that's where the machine starts learning your data. It interprets the data and kind of based on that learning gives you a recommendation. That's the first step of artificial intelligence, which is called machine learning. Now, I heard some of you have done internship, HR internship, any HR or any internship for that matter. Okay, this is a bit of a weird analogy that I use, but for me, artificial intelligence is like an intern. And so it's a lot of energy and wants to learn a lot and are really excited to do the job. But if a tough question comes, it's like, exactly what should I do? I need some guidance. So take that analogy to an AI. You have a Siri or a Alexa. You ask anything to Siri or Alexa. My kids ask a lot of questions to Siri and Alexa and they get answers to most of the questions. Siri wants to learn more, Alexa wants to learn more. But the moment you ask a difficult question, my father is really angry today. Papa ka kya karna hai? That Alexa won't tell you, right, what exactly you have to do. So artificial intelligence, my dear friend, is something that mimics human intelligence. It's try to mimic human intelligence is what we call as a artificial intelligence, which is called Siri, Alexa, and other things. The third concept, which is really taking a world by storm today, is the Gen AI. You have heard this term called Gen Z, right? All of you are Gen Zs, 97 to 2012 broadly. And we heard that term a lot into corporate, hey, manage this Gen Z people. And I'm like, acha. So I have to now manage a Gen Z and then I have to manage a Gen AI. And I'm like, which one is more difficult for me to manage. So Gen AI are the topics or the tools which exactly mimic human intelligence, like Canva, for example. You give Canva that design this logo for me. Like my wife into a cake baking business. She is really creative. She is really artistic. So whenever I'm thinking about helping her, I go to Canva and say, design a cake logo for me. Design this thing for me. And you get it in a minute. Right. I've done this program called Udan. This is a 9 months program we did with the Pune Blind Girls School. We have hired two visually impaired school in our organization just a few weeks back. This was a 9 months program. We helped them with the employability skills. And there was this graduation last week, and I was thinking 9 months is there. I need to do a graduation. I need to spend a lot of time thinking through a logo, a design, and then this thought came. I went into Canva and said, this is the theme, this is what I am looking forward. Can you give me a logo? And the logo it gave me was so beautiful that it happens in a click of a thing. So those are Gen AI. Chat GPT, I'm sure most of you are using nowadays, Google Gemini. So these are the Gen AI tools that we talk about. And last in AI, which is the future of AI, is agentic AI. Now that is a AI which doesn't even need a lot of inputs from you. See, the thing with Gen AI is, how many of you are engineers here? Most of it. Like I am not an engineer, but I love this term nowadays, which is called prompt engineering. And I'm sure all of you know prompt engineering. So I can't go to a chat GPT and say, hey, do this for me. Give me a presentation on India. And then it's like 100 pager PPT, what do I do about it? So you need to have your own intelligence to use AI better. So I will say I need to make a presentation on India to a global audience, a set of 10 senior leaders with a 20 years kind of experience sitting into these kind of situations. And then it gives me the real thing, what exactly I need. I need to give it a lot of prompts in order to use it. Agentic AI doesn't even need those prompts. It works on its own. So all of you are tracking Tesla, right? And so they started with a new showroom in Bombay and they have started selling their cars. So a few days back, there was a lot of news that a Tesla drove from a factory right to the home of the buyer. So you simply have to say that I want to buy this car. There is no dealer in between. There is no showroom in between. The order gets done in system. The address is there. The moment the car is manufactured, it drives to your home and say, hey, here I am. Use me. Right? That is, my dear friend, agentic AI. I met some of my colleagues who are extensively working on AI, and they told me, which really surprised me, that within a year, Chat GPT is going to be the most primitive AI technology. I'm like, I'm learning Chat GPT. You're telling me within 1 year it's going to be extinct and a lot of new tools are coming. So that's the kind of a disruption that we are talking about. And also that's my understanding how AI is shaping up. Now let's talk about some real life examples which we see on a daily life. Few days back, I went to a conference in Bombay. It's a SHRM conference on New Age World. It says that there is no future of work. The future is here and now. And there were a lot of inputs on the technology. That was one of the topics today, how exactly tech is changing the world. And I was in a panel and they asked me, what is that one thing that AI can't do? And I said, AI is not emotional. It doesn't understand emotional intelligence. It doesn't understand people. It doesn't have a sympathy, for example. It's like a machine who learns from your data and gives some recommendation. So they said, okay, let's do a small experiment. And I want all of you to do that experiment with me in the mind. So they said, let's do one thing. Let's give you avatar, AI avatar, and that avatar will interview you. So I got a call from, let's say that avatar name was Moshmi. She is the most intelligent person in the room. So Moshmi calls me, Moshmi avatar calls me and said, hey Ajit, we have this CHRO position open and we will like to interview tomorrow at 12 noon. Are you available for an interview? And I said, yeah, sure, I'm available. And then I got a mail that this is the invite, this is my Zoom link and all. This is where exactly I have to do. I got a lot of instructions as well. So I thought I have to make this interview really tough for AI. to see how is it sympathy, how is it artificial intelligence. So next day when Moshmi called me at 12, the Moshmi avatar, not this Moshmi. So that AI calls me at 12 and said, "Hey Ajit, we discussed yesterday, today 12 noon you had an interview. Are you ready for the interview?" I said, "No, I'm not ready for interview. I'm not feeling well today. I have 104-degree temperature and it's raining heavily outside my home. I'm not sure if I am in a real good situation to appear for an interview today." And then I got some shocks of my life. The AI said, "Oh, you are having a fever. It's raining heavily. So the environment is not good." As I looked online, these are 10 tips I want to offer you to take care of your health better. I said, "Thank you so much." Then it said, "By the way, because as part of the interview process, you have shared your address with me. I looked at your address and near your home, there are 5 doctors which are available. 2 of these doctors are available for an appointment in next 1 hour. 3 of them are available in the evening. Will you like me to schedule an interview for you?" Right? Just look at where technology has gone. So I talked about HR. AI doesn't have a emotional intelligence or sympathy, and there is this AI which is telling me that in case you are not keeping well, this is the kind of a things I'm going to do for you. So these are the technologies which are coming up in talent acquisition. You ask AI to create a job description. 2,000 people applied for a position. Who selects these people? I have a team of talent acquisition that goes through each resume and they shortlist. Now AI can shortlist top 10 resume and come back that these are the top 10 resume you should do. And then it also does one thing that HR doesn't do. So out of 2,000 people, it select 10 top 10 and it's also send a mail to 1990 people that your profile were not shortlisted. That's the grievance you have, that I reached out to HR but I don't get a response. Now this new trend, HR is giving you a response as well. So that's what we are seeing in talent acquisition. Let me give you a real life example in Cummins. Nowadays we don't schedule an interview. You go online, you are a candidate from BIMM, you got an interview with Cummins, you look at my calendar, Ajit Talreja's calendar, Moshmi's calendar, you have to do an interview with me. You look into my calendar, you look into your calendar and say this slot is preferably fine with me. So you don't need a human intervention to schedule an interview with us nowadays. You could do it online. So these kind of technologies are real life example that are coming. Now, I gave you example of this interview and I thought these interviews will come 5 years down the line, 3 years down the line. One of my plant manager's son is doing his engineering and he was shortlisted by Persistent for an interview and he went to this place where entire batch was shortlisted and top 20 was asked for an interview. He thought there is Ajit and a Moshmi sitting and they will evaluate. He got a shock of his life where he went inside the interview room and there was an AI asking for an interview. Let's do your interview and then the top 3 people meet the final person who is going to take the call. So that technology is not so future. The future of work is here and now is the thing. It's there in learning and development and you need to have a tougher conversation with the employee. You could train yourself in a artificial intelligence environment and you could also prompt the AI to give you a tougher person to talk to. And so these are the technologies which are coming in learning and development. Employee experience. I talked about HR operating model. You are an advisor. People comes to you and ask, can I take a leave? Do I have a policy? What should I do? Now we are saying, why do you need a person? The person is only there from 10 to 6. If I have a question 2 o'clock in the night, I am a Gen AI person, Gen Z person, रात को मूड हुआ कल छुट्टी मारनी है, casual leave देना है. I'm sure all of you look at stand up. If it's casual leave, it's casual. Why are you asking the question? So I need to know where is that policy. Why do I have to wait for HR? I could go online and this chat bot which is there with us in Cummins will answer you where to find that policy, how many leaves you have in your balance right now. So these technologies are not future, they are here with us. Performance management, I have to write my own mid-year. All of us, me and Moshmi are going through our mid-year assessment. We could get a lot of help from our own Microsoft Copilot Bing, which is a approved version in Cummins to work on it, and talent management. So a lot of this AI is already creeping into our day-to-day life, even in Cummins HR as well. Lastly, team, I just wanted to give you a update that please treat AI as a partner, not as a competitor. Wherever I go, I get this question definitely, is AI going to replace HR? My answer is no, AI is not going to replace HR. But the HRs who know AI might replace HR who doesn't know AI. That's the takeaway I want all of you to have. Please learn the new technologies which are coming up that makes you future ready. Second is value creator. AI doesn't do anything on its own. It needs a lot of prompt. It needs your intelligence to do that work. It can detect patterns. It cannot detect emotions. Lastly, AI is a machine which is learning through data. Garbage in, garbage out, bias in, bias out. Hey, AI, can you look at all these 200 people and tell me who are the top three candidates for me to select? Now it will look at your data and then tell me who are the top three. It will not look into the intelligence. It will not look into your thought process. That is up to me to decide how exactly I want to interview. So this is where AI has a limitation that it's mainly dependent on data. And so use data, use AI, but have a policy around it. Cummins, we have a artificial intelligence policy. Which are the areas you will use AI? Which are the areas you will not use AI? What are the data that will go into AI? What is the data that won't get into it? Even if AI has sent you a recommendation, use your own brain before you take a final decision. So this is how you have to work on it. Lastly, a call from me to all of you. Be a AI literate. I understand where ma'am says a lot of you are doing your MBA in data science. So not all of us are data scientists. Be a literate. Understand what exactly is AI, what kind of a help it is providing to us. Do experiments with the small tools which are there. Think strategically and act digitally. Stay curious, and please remember AI doesn't necessarily understand all the emotion and ethics. So at the end of the day, it's your call as a leader what exactly is the right topic for you to pick it up. I think with that we'll come to end of our presentation, and we are open to any question and answers that you have for both of us.
The house is now open for Q&A.
Good afternoon, sir, and good afternoon, ma'am. Myself, Kedar Hanmante.
Kedar, thank you.
Yes, sir. Sir, I am a senior student manager, currently pursuing my MBA in product management and business analytics, and I have interned at Finterm Autocom, which is in Hinjawadi. So, sir, my question to you is, with respect to Gen AI, what are the current niche roles which would be offered to product management students?
Hmm. Yeah, maybe I will take an attempt. So we have this new concept which is called GCCs, which are our core competency in terms of services that we are offering. I think there I could see a lot of such opportunities where we are providing services to the entire world. So Cummins is a energy manufacturer. We manufacture various kind of a power. You manufacture power through a genset, and you manufacture power through an engine which is fitted inside a truck. You manufacture power through components, and we do distribution. Apart from this, we also do a lot of services for the globe. I think I will see a lot of such initiatives where I see that a lot of our products are now assembled with a telematics device which looks into the data, how much kilometer this engine has gone, how much time this genset run, what kind of fuel efficiencies this product have, and what are the areas of improvement I look into. It also gives you a um, what do you say, a notification that your product is now ready for a maintenance kind of a thing. It's a service is required, or some refueling is required, the oil change or filter needs change. These kind of a things are also coming up in our product AI kind of a notification, where we see some of these jobs are already getting created, and I see more from a service sectors where a lot of these technologies are used globally, where you see more of such usage into the organization. Mashmi, you want to add anything?
I'm not sure about the curriculum exactly that you guys go through, but what I can understand is a lot of it can, you guys can also get absorbed in marketing functions. as the product analytics team. So I have seen in my previous organizations many of them who are working on data, etc., because the marketing team needs a lot of insights. So within marketing functions and data analytics, you guys can also get into.
So I also had one more question.
Yes, Ketan.
So, sir, I would like to tell you that I was assistant production manager in Mahindra and Mahindra in Sakarna plant. So now, as I am like seeing that companies are not rolling out diesel engine vehicles
Hmm.
because of carbon emission, but looking to the analytics, only 0.04% carbon is there in atmosphere, in which only 10% of carbon dioxide is generated by human beings, which will be 0.004%. So why is it that diesel engines are completely being eradicated from the vehicles? And also, I would like to ask that what is Cummins doing for like now the way? I'm so sorry. What is Cummins doing in the batteries and motors?
Right. So, Kedar, this is like a pertinent question we get every day in our organization. We are largely dependent on diesel as a fuel. And now, our understanding initially was these things will change dramatically. Now, we don't see market changing up so rapidly. Our understanding is diesel will reside there for next decade, 10 more years, because the infrastructure is not ready. You don't have hydrogen fuel pumps everywhere. Cummins is working on three technologies. We are not sure which is the technology which will shape up future. You have hydrogen, you have battery. These are the two big initiatives which are coming. Then you have fuel cells, and then the another is solar, which is not so much mobile, but yeah, these are three, four technologies which are coming up. We are investing into all four. Let's look at how future will shape up. Some countries like India might have more hydrogen power vehicles is where we are thinking. Few days back, you might have seen Mr. Gadkari inaugurated the first ever Tata Motors hydrogen run truck. That was a Cummins product. The engine was from Cummins. We have a Moshmi is leading one of those businesses, Tata Cummins. So we inaugurated that. So we have hydrogen, we have battery, we have fuel cells, and some bit of a work into solar. So our understanding, because we are a global organization, every country may have a different approach to the zero emissions that you are talking about. Our philosophy, large term vision is to be destination zero, which means zero carbon should get emitted from our products. That's the long term strategy. But we don't see things changing so rapidly in the next 2 3 years. We look at it like a decade will be still fossil fuels, and then as the infrastructure get ready for EVs and other kind of market, you will see such markets coming up. For EV, maybe if you are talking about the car market, you see a lot more traction there. But we are mainly into the business of heavy duty, where we see it will take much more time for this technology to come up.
So,
Much.
sir, last
I
question.
think
Yeah.
If given an opportunity for you to choose between an EV and a hydrogen vehicle, what would you choose?
I have drove EV. I haven't drove hydrogen. I know that I could put a EV car in my garage. So maybe because of that reason, my dear, I will pick a EV. The moment I see hydrogen gas engines available and I could drive a vehicle which really gives me pleasure, maybe then I will go for hydrogen. As of now, I am happy with my petrol Honda for now.
Thank you.
And I think
Thank
on
you.
your first question, we don't see diesel engines going out of the market for next 10 years, as Ajit said clearly. I work in a plant which is a diesel engine manufacturing plant for Tata Motors, and those are for all heavy vehicles, the trucks that you see in the market. Cummins also have a JV with Tata Motors, and which is part of the engine business, where we are into making hydrogen engine. However, we have not seen the market growing so much in that segment. We have our plant ready, but the demand from the market is still needs to come up. I think the infrastructure is something that the country is waiting for. That's on the hydrogen bit. And I think that's the reason Ajit said that he would prefer an EV and he is happy with his petrol one right now.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, man.
Thank you, Kedar. Wonderful questions. Yes.
Hello, sir. Hello, ma'am. I'm Gauri from PM HRD, specializing in PM and HRD. So, sir, as you mentioned, you are you are an HR leader for 7 plants. So, sir, how do you balance people-centric decisions with business objectives?
Hmm. See, team, the first thing I want to talk about to all of you is that nowadays HR is integrated with business. All of us have a seat on table. This is the first thing. When I talk about power systems as a business, I sit along with my MD when a business decision is taken. So when you talk about 7 plants, we have invested heavily into Fulton, which is 2.5 hours drive from here. It's a very remote location. We came there 10, 12 years earlier. So that time it was a totally a remote location. So that's a business decision that we want to invest heavily in India. We want to set up plant. We are gonna set up our plants in Fulton. Now, why do you want to set up plant in Fulton? There are government aids. Government want you to set up in these areas. Now, HR comes into play into the decision where you like, do you have talent there who will work for you? What kind of a talent is available? Do you have that market? Do you have those kind of a skills which are available where people will work for you? So the first easy answer for me is that how do you take people decision based on business priorities? We are engaged into a business strategy right from day one. So we know what kind of strategy we are talking about and what kind of a people decision we have to make. The tougher situation comes where you see there are behavioral changes. Let's say there are leaders who are not behaving well. These are like business leaders, and in case you see a difference ethical uh, boundaries getting passed or you see a behavior issue, that's where you take more of a people centric decision, that if person is getting impacted, no matter what's the business need, you focus more on the employees. We always talk about Cummins two thing, what and how, what you achieved and how you achieved. So you may have manufactured 100 engines in your tenure, but in order to manufacture those 100 engines, you impacted a lot of other employees through late hours working or through your behaviors. So business thing will be, hey, this guy is producing more engines, which is fine, but because he is not a team player, he is impacting others. We take a people-centric decision there that maybe it makes more sense to make 100 engines, but because it is affecting the morale of overall organization, we'll go with the person decision more. So two answers from my side, and I will ask Moshmi to add in.
I don't have much, Ajit, but I think for us it's a challenge every day, and whether we make a people-centric decision or a balanced decision, our effort on a day-to-day basis is to make more balanced decision rather than just people-centric. But there are, cases what Ajit mentioned that we have to take some people-centric decisions. But as HRs, it is, and as business partners, we always like to take more balanced decision on a day-to-day basis.
What a wonderful question, Gauri, that you just brought in a day-to-day thing that with the only thing, because this is very close to our heart and we do it every day, the only thing I will do is for all of you are doing HR, you are the culture keeper of the organization. You are the ones who uphold the values, integrity, respect, dignity of an employee. So if you see, even if there is a business case, but employee is getting disrespected or there is no dignity, you take a people-centric decision more. Thank you for that question. I think we have a question in the back. Yeah. Sir,
Good
the
afternoon.
sorry, yeah. I was saying, sir, the technology is everywhere. Oh, morning I saw the face taking the attendance and
That was
I was like, yeah, everywhere you see technology nowadays. Yes, my dear friend.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Aditya Vidde.
Aditya.
Yes, sir. Pursuing my MBA in Data Science and Business Analytics at Balaji Institute of Modern Management. Sir, I have completed my internship at a manufacturing unit in Ahilya Nagar called Classic Wheels. So, sir, while I was totally into quality control, but in my second month, I was like put into the HR analytics. So, what I have saw there was like high turnover in specific production team directly impacts production quality.
Hmm.
So at Cummins, how do you strike balance between retaining skilled workers and maintaining flexibility in production staffing? And also, sir, what I saw that the attrition what happens in the company is totally blamed on HR. But what I think that attrition is a leadership problem and not an HR problem.
Yeah, I
which
think
means your
two best questions and we have the best answer, HR to answer. She does that on a day-to-day basis. So I will ask Moshmi to revert first.
Yeah. So, from moving people moving out, and I know why Ajit has given this to me because I lead a plant where we have a lot of flexi resources. When we say flexi, they are not a permanent manpower, and that's how an automotive industry works. For me, it was very new when I came from a steel industry because steel industry is a very it's a very old industry and works in a very systematic manner where volumes are very predictable, very unlike to an automotive industry. It was a new learning. And in automotive industry, the volumes are not stable for the business at any point of time. So maybe in 1 month, I am making, um, you know, I need to make 5,000 engines. And the next, after 2 months, I need to make only 2,000 engines. So we have a lot of flexi manpower and we have a very robust process to train these flexi manpowers. So we have a big training center, which we call as Dexterity Center, and it's state-of-art facility at Cummins mega site Fulton. And as students, all of you should come and visit that. What kind of facility we have prepared for these flexi resources to come and get trained. So we have a 7 days training where they actually operate the machines that they will have to operate in the shop floor. So these are simulation machines that they operate on, and then they get a hands-on experience here. At Cummins, there is lot of focus on safety. So we ensure the safety and quality. These are the two parameters which cannot get compromised. So main quality stations, we have are all skilled workmen, and we normally don't replace them. But then there are stations where we can have, and the business can tolerate some new workmen or new talent. Those are the places where we keep the flexi resources, but even then we ensure that there are no quality issues because of the frequent churn out of the manpower. And through this dexterity center and a robust 7 days training and a 15 days or a 3 weeks overlap between the ones who will be leaving the organization, between the ones who are leaving and who have joined. So there is a very good knowledge transfer. There is a very good on the hands experience that we give to these talents so that we ensure there is no quality issues, because that's what we are known for in the market. And on the attrition bit, I think Cummins as an organization, the leaders definitely understand that it's not an HR issue. And gone are those days where attrition was only an HR issue. It's no longer an HR issue. Definitely, business owns it, and we have business leaders who definitely have their skin in the game. That yes, this is a business issue, and we work on a very collaborative manner. Ajit, you want to
Yeah,
add?
thank you, Moshmi. And Aditya, thank you for that. One input to the college, a lot of good internships the kids are doing. Because when Aditya, you talked about Ahilya Nagar, I'm like, Ahilya Nagar Nagar. And then I know because we have a plant in Ahilya Nagar, it's called Cummins Generator Technologies. So one new thing that I want to talk to you about, Aditya, is that we introduced this new concept called as skill pods. Now our customers are asking that you could only give us a quality product if you have more permanent employees, which means you should have more skilled employee in the organization. So we said, but skill, what does a skill have to do with a permanent and flexi? And the answer is flexi come and go in a year's time, 2 years time. How do you make sure that they are skilled enough? So we have come up with one dexterity center, which Moshmi talked about. Second is a skill pod. Now, skill pod is like when you go to a machine, the first 15 days you are a trainee, you are learning that machine. So you are in quadrant one. The moment you learn the machine, you work under a supervision of a person. You are into quadrant two. Now you could do this work without supervision, which is quadrant three. You could train someone else in that machine is quadrant four. So now in order to ensure that you are a global organization, highest level of quality, there are skills which are allocated to each machine. The tougher one should have mandatorily quadrant three for someone to even start the machine. Your ID card skill itself is a skill pod. The moment you put your ID card, if you are not skill three, that machine won't operate for you. So I think that's the new technology which is coming that will reduce the differentiation between a permanent and the flexi manpower. It will talk more about the skill Aditya and Ajit have. It will not talk about how much experience Aditya and Achieve have. You are 2 years old, but because you have higher skills, you could always do this work more proficiently than me. So that's the new technology will talk more about skills rather than the experience of the person. Thank you so much for that question. Yes, dear.
Hello, my name is Raghuram Manogaran.
Raghu?
Raghuram,
Raghuram, thank you.
pursuing data science and business analytics, internet Enigma holding. So my question is like, how a Cummins widely using AI in manufacturing units, and what are the challenges you are facing while implementing those? And do you see AI changing the nature of job in manufacturing? And what should we learn to prepare for it?
Yeah, thank you, Raghuram, for that question. I will take a quick attempt, Mashmi, and then I will ask. My supply chain leader of Cummins was here with us last week, and I got an opportunity to have a dinner with him. And this topic came AI because I'm passionate about it, and I'm talking about it's coming in HR, and then we asked him, "Do you see AI coming in manufacturing?" And in HR, we used to feel, nahi, it may not come so quickly, but his answer was what really shocked me. He also feel that AI will come extremely quick into manufacturing as well. I just give you a glimpse when I was talking to Aditya about this skill pod. That's the new technology which is coming in manufacturing, that you need to have skills more than the experience. The moment you have skills, you could go into that machine and then you do it. Some examples of how we are using AI into manufacturing. First is lot on the training. That the moment an employee comes, we train them. Not necessarily a person is going to train them. And they go through an initial 2-3 days induction, and then a lot of these modules are now online. You go to a workstation, there is a screen attached which gives you all the training, that this is how you get trained, then only you will be able to start that machine. That is my first AI usage. Moshmi mentioned about we manufacture what? Diesel engines. And then we manufacture a genset. I will give you interesting thing. Each of my diesel engine have a birth certificate. A birth certificate, है ना, कहाँ पैदा हुए, parents कौन हैं, कहाँ से हैं. Now you have an engine which tells that this engine got manufactured on this day. These were the series of lines where this engine went through, and Raghuram and Aditya were the two person who worked on the engine. तो अगर इंजन में कोई खराबी हुई तो अभी किसको बात करना है, दैट वी नो. Either we have to talk to Raghuram or Aditya, for example, where exactly the problem occurred when it goes to market and in case that's giving. So that's the kind of a technology where we are talking about, that every step it's getting recorded on a system. And that's how the machine learns. I talked about machine learning. That's how the machine learns, where we see a lot of these technology coming. You will come to our plant and you will see a lot of, what do you say, not robots, we call them cobots. And that a lot of work which was done manually, the hard lifting of our engines which are very heavy are getting done through these cobots, where you have to give them a prompt and then they are ready. You need a person supervision, but they are ready. I will ask Moshmi to add.
Right. So I would say that AI, I think Ajit has covered that topic well, but we are grappling with Industry 4.0 changes at the shop floor. And of course, upskilling and reskilling is something we are looking at for most of our associates who works with us in the shop floor. We have a lot of robots and cobots working, while you will see that the heavy engines that we make are always on an engine assembly belt, so no one picks it in their hand. And there are very strict ergonomics norms already in Cummins, not more than X number of kgs anybody can lift. So I've seen a lot of robots moving around in the plant where they carry the engines or other components and place it at different locations. So I think up till that is what I can answer with respect to Industry 4.0, but not much in terms of AI.
Just reminded me, a few days back I was with our CEO, Cummins CEO. We were in Delhi for a conference, and ET, economic teams team comes to interview us, and the topic was CEO and HR. And I was like, wow, she's the CEO, I am the HR. So this question came that in industry there is a lot of fear that when this new technology comes, how will people cope up? And they have been talking to a lot of MDs, and there was a lot of worry that when Moshmi talked about upskilling, that we are not sure if people are getting upskilled. You are seeing a lot of technology coming, but the upskilling is not happening. What we have done in Cummins is a bit different. You come to Kothrood, it's the Hanukar colony, and I'm not so far. It takes me half an hour every morning to reach that plant. You come to Kothrood, you will see what do you call the baby boomers, which is that age where you are 50, 60, which is the term. So people with 50 kind of a age, 25 years kind of experience, they are working on the latest technology because that's the concept we have, which is called learning organization, where you want people to keep learning. When I talk about be future proof, we are doing that right now. You see, India, I was talking about, I gave a presentation on India. We have 13 billion UPI transaction every month. 13 billion. एक 5 रुपए 10 रुपए की चाय पीने से लेके लाख रुपए तक का पेमेंट आजकल मैं यूपीआई से करता हूँ, है ना. So all of us, you go to a chai wala, to a sabji person, everything is UPI. So people are so used to mobile and technology. When we started our recognition program, it is called Applaud now and Kudos, and we thought people were used to getting a certificate and an award from us. How will they respond to the technology? That person with 25 years experience or 50 plus of years of age, they are the first one who will order things from Amazon. The moment they get a reward scheme on their mobile, they order the first. So technology is adopting across generation, not just for the Gen Z. A lot of people are adopting technology.
Hello, sir. Hello, ma'am. So, the question to you, ma'am. So, as you shared your experience while switching the roles from journalist to performance, sorry, from reward, and then you mentioned about commitment, then HRV. So, what was the challenges you faced while switching the roles, and how you overcome that challenges?
I think I like people have asked me this question several times that different organizations, different roles. Um, but I would say that just need to have you need to have that agility and flexibility to mold yourself because every role demands something different. While a performance and a rewards roles would want you to be more accurate and have that data bend of mind, the role that I currently do will want me to have more of strategic bent of mind. And then when I will be doing an industrial relations or LTS settlement or wage negotiations, will have a different bend of mind. So I think just need to be more agile and more adaptable to changes that you do. And I think that's something that keeps you going as a professional because routine and monotonous roles nobody would want to do over a period of time. So these are the success factors, but challenges there are immense. So when you get into a new role, there are a lot of upskilling that you need to do for yourself. So I would say that upskilling is the only mantra that you need to have with you because otherwise you just can't proceed in the next role because every role has something very demanding. And I would want everybody to start doing to stretching yourself beyond your current roles wherever you go because it's not that I directly got into a performance and a rewards role in the next organization. In my current organization, I started stretching myself. Maybe through projects, maybe through collaborating with different leaders, and showing that willingness to learn more is going to help you get those opportunities, and that's the starting point. So wherever you have seen that I've started doing a different role, it was not that was the first time I was doing that role. In my previous organization, I started getting that flavor of a role through different projects, etc. And I think that's what will keep you going. And only mantra here is keep upskilling yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir. Hello, ma'am. My name is Akash Wagule.
Akash.
Akash, yes, sir. Sir, I have done my internship at Serum Institute of India Private Limited. Sir, my question to you is, as you mentioned about you have faced a lot of situations, and what are your takes or what are your actions to deal with those situations on a daily operations?
Sorry, Akash, if you could elaborate more, which kind of situations you want?
Sir, situations like those situations which are coming in day-to-day operations in like certain situations, like you have mentioned about the safety, such kind of situations.
Hmm. Want to take a short motion?
Sorry, can I get the question again?
Different situations, how do you react as a HR?
Acha, how do we react as HR? So I
Yes,
think we
ma'am.
have different reactions. Today morning only, me and Ajit, while we were traveling here, we were just talking about, how he was reacting. So we are engaged in many different aspects of human resources. We have discussion with respect to ethics. We have discussion with respect to safety issues. We have discussion with respect to manpower constraints, and uh, each and every day is very very different for us. We and Ajit was telling me today morning ki I don't even get time to think through, because then there are meetings day in and out and just back to back meetings. तो मुझे time ही नहीं मिल रहा है कि मैं सोच के कुछ करूँ. So we have to be our minds needs to be very very agile, because we are just moving from one topic to another, and they are very very diverse topics. So in if you ask me one my day what I decide that I will be doing when I go to my plant locations. There are days when I work from other office locations, but the day when I go to plant locations, I decide X, and when I come back, I realize that I have not done what I had decided for. Because as I get into the plant, there are different, things that I need to address. There are, industrial relations issue, then there are some ethics complaint, then there are some, some counseling sessions. Maybe somebody has come and somebody is facing such concerns and they want to meet me and discuss those issues. So each day is a very different day, and I think we play very different roles in our different meetings. Somewhere we are a listener, somewhere we are leading those conversations, and somewhere it is both ways. So none of our days or none of our meetings are quite similar in nature. And anything else you would like to
No,
add,
no.
Ajit?
Thank you for that question, because like I will also take my day. Morning we discuss what are the issues. Our internal audit teams comes and asks me, what do you want us to audit? You tell me whatever area you want us to audit. I'm like, hey, when people join, I don't know if they have relevant documents. Have we done a background verification when they are getting separated? That's the conversation I have. The moment that calls and I'm into a ethics call, that these two leaders didn't behave exactly, what should we do about it? Then I'm coming to this college doing this session, and then the moment I go back, we're into a mid-year session where all our employees have completed 6 months, January to June, and we are evaluating their performance and leadership potential. I have to get into that conversation. So every day it's a very different situation. I talked about the model. I am struggling, like, am I the strategic HR or I am the operational HR? Like, hey, Ajit, in the night this incident happened. What exactly should we do? Uh, there is this fire incident in the safety issues which happened. What exactly is your advice? What am I gonna do? And every day there are employees who want to come and talk to you about something, their own career, their grievance with the manager, two employees are not getting along. So it's like the day gets by and you think about these priorities, and at the end you are like, hey, I'm not sure if I do that. So my mantra to all of you will be calendarize things and put your calendar. Like, that is what I am doing. I know a lot of things will take into my time, so I've started to block my own time. This is my thinking time. This is the time I get into a room and I'm like, hey, let's switch off my mobile, get offline for a bit, and start thinking about some processes. And that's how whatever get calendarized get done. I think that's one of the mantra I've loved from my managers, that put a schedule for yourself. I love what Moshmi told in the morning, and I met the army person in your library. Discipline, my dear friend. I think that's what takes you to a lot of places. Thank you for that question. I have a question here, maybe last few questions before we take a pause.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am. I am Vedanti Patil, Senior Student Manager specializing in PM and HRD. Actually, I would want to ask questions to both of you as you are in manufacturing industry. So for HR professionals whoever wants to enter in manufacturing industry, how can they build credibility with the technical teams as they don't consider HR as non, like they consider HR as non-core functions?
I have ready answer, Mashmi.
Building credibility amongst your business leaders is very, very critical for HR. And we can't always be talking HR language. They understand their language better than us. I don't think it's very difficult for any of us. We need to learn their language, and when I came from a steel industry to automotive industry, the industry both are manufacturing industry. The core remains the same, that we make something, we produce something, but the way the engine business works and the way steel industry works are is very, very different. But my then manager told me that you need to spend a lot of time to understand the business, because you can't be talking a different language than the business. So I have spent a lot of time in the shop floor, understand the type of engines, understanding the name of engines, attending a lot of business calls. I may not be invited, or I may not be needed there, but I was there just to understand that what is this business all about, so that I can start going and talking their language. So I have spent, and also reading a lot of business magazines, because this industry was very new for me. So that's how I have learned about this industry. And when leaders see that you also have a business bend of mind, they definitely recognize that fact, and that's how you need to build your credibility. Because for us as HR, we are not branded with any kind of industry. We are fungible resources. That's what we call human resource team as, and or maybe finance group as, that we can go into any industry. So you need to be very, very adaptable, agile in terms of learning new businesses. uh, After a point of time, you understand that this is how the business operates. Maybe some nuances will be different from each and every industry, because at the end we are all working for making profitable and a sustainable organizations. But it is very, very important, and thanks for putting that question, that how do we build that credibility. So I personally do all these things, attending business meetings, understanding, going in the shop floor, going to the core, where they will not actually feel ki HR yahan pe aayega. Go to that place and learn, because that's the only place you will get to learn the core and dirty your hands. When they see that this is the HR person who is not very superficial, but the person will get into to the core. And I think that's how credibility develops. And I think Ajit has already answered, so yes.
My bad. So I think Moshmi covered everything. I talked about this concept of HR business partner. Uh, we are asked to work on three skills very critically. One is leadership coaching. How do you coach leaders in the organization? Second is the business partnering. That's where your question comes. And the third, which is very critical nowadays, is what we call business acumen. I think that's what Moshmi talked about. When you learn business, so the business start having more credibility. Now, what do you do when you learn business? One is you understand their language. Hey, this is the engine, this is the genset which is getting produced. Second, the moment you understand business criticalities, you start putting HR strategy around it. Like one of my Kedar, I think, asked this question about new age technology. So we have started manufacturing gensets for railways, and we are very closely working with the railways from a longer time. So we are coming up with this new project for rail electrification. So the moment that strategy comes that our gensets are going to be attached to a rail, and it has to be all the railways are getting electrified. So what kind of a skills will be needed? I don't have those skills. Either I upskill my people, or I bring some of the experts from the market who will help us with that kind of electrification strategy. So one, it builds credibility when you understand business in day-to-day conversation. And second, you start thinking from a HR lens that what it will affect my people in long term, and you put a HR strategy around it. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Sanskruti. I'm from BIMM, specializing in PM and HR. I have interned at Sterling and Wilson Private Limited. The articles that we read on day-to-day basis, it states that AI is taking over the business, but HR still lacks integrating with AI. The possible barriers are the fear of being obsolete, the budget, or the skill and literacy lacking in the HR people. And sometimes it is also stated that HR is a domain which has to work with head and hearts. So, what is your take on it? Why is HR lacking in AI integration?
Yeah, I will take and then ask Moshmi to add on. I think my entire presentation, Sanskriti, right, was on that only that. Uh, See, I'm not sure that HR is lacking in terms of adoption of AI. But what I see is uh, it varies from industry to industry. Like we are a multinational organization which have a larger base. And now why would we slow down in adopting AI? Because uh, we are into the business from 100 plus years. And there are a lot of compliances that we have to follow, IP, intelligence thing that we have to follow. So you cannot adopt AI easily until and unless you have a right policy, a boundary line defined where can you take AI, where you can't take AI. Now I adopt AI in HR and then people start writing about each other's potential ratings and then that data gets haywire. That cannot happen. So we are going slow because you want to have those ethical boundaries around where exactly AI can go, where exactly we don't want AI to go. And a lot of our drawings, designs that are used to manufacture engine, when you are into R&D, you are designing these drawings, you cannot put any of those data into AI because you don't know where it is going. So first what we did was we created our own databases where the data is safe. That's the only place AI can go. So these are the first set of AI policies that you need to adopt. Second, I shared a lot of examples. AI is there into rewards and recognition, and AI is there into talent acquisition. You could schedule an interview with me. Your CV gets shortlisted by AI, which is there. So I think on a day-to-day basis, also now in the night, I gave you that example. 2 o'clock, you want to apply for a leave, you could just ask AI, and that it responded. So I see a lot of these technologies coming, but you are getting a bit more precautious in terms of how exactly AI is going to shape the world. Where my fear, if I could talk about openly, is I don't know the limits and boundaries of AI. My fear is whatever I ask him, it learns. So I gave you that example. I think AI don't have a emotional intelligence or sympathy. And then in the interview, I said I am fever, and it says, "मैं doctor भेजूं क्या?" So my fear is it's like that intern which could learn everything and anything. It just need a bit more time. So that's my fear, that what is that boundary level, that till what level I could take that AI. Otherwise, we are adopting AI in a proper manner, but it again depends from industry to industry. And most of the companies will look forward to ROI, return on investment. These are not so easily available apps and others where you could invest easily. So these will be my answers.
Ajit, you've covered everything. I don't know how much I, as an employee, would want to talk to a robot or a cobot rather than to somebody in flesh and in person who can share the emotions. So there are certain things I don't think AI will be able to take over. But yes, there are functions where AI is supporting, and I think HR function is leveraging those areas effectively. Ajit said talent acquisition is an area. I have seen that, they are getting great results by adopting AI. So I don't think HR is anywhere behind. But yes, there are certain areas, in my personal opinion, I don't think AI can take.
From BITM. Sir, my question to you would be, with the layoffs happening in the employment market, uh, do you think there's still hope for, say, hiring, or do we see that startups are the new norms? Because layoffs also happening, but is there a good hiring that we can still promise and be positive of to look forward to?
See, twofold answer. I don't think hiring will get paused because we see market from a Cummins perspective at least are still opening up. There's a lot of demand for our products. Just look at the numbers we are delivering. I just came back from an analyst call last week. We talked about Cummins India results, and every quarter, last quarter was the highest quarter we have, record quarters that we have. So my understanding, hiring will happen. It may not happen at a very faster pace. We may see a bit of a slowdown, but we still go for hiring like campus hires and others. We always invest into it. External hires, which are always there. When you talk about layoff, the examples that we read into news, these are very smaller numbers. The numbers may look high from a number like 10,000, 12,000 people of this company were asked to let go of. But what is the percentage of overall employee base? It's 1 to 2%. So my answer to you will be these are cyclicity team that you will see throughout the year. I think that's the career readiness that we talk about, that make yourself future proof. And I think that's my advice. And my personal advice, not as a HR leader, I really got inspired reading the little book Rich Dad Poor Dad, which talked about three sources of income. One is the profession that I am getting into. And don't be reliant on that just one income source. And ask for one or two more income sources. It could be creative. Maybe you are into music, like my wife is into a cake business. Whatever you want as a creative topic where you could generate that second and third nature of income. Maybe you have written a book, you are getting a royalty. I don't know, you are a beautiful singer and you are getting a royalty for your voice. So just built onto that second stream of income, that in case situation changes, that really gets tough for you, where exactly you will get your financials from. And nowadays you look at kids around, I don't want all of you to get into that, but simply getting online is earning a lot of money. My 10th-year-old boy Karthik is saying, I want to be a gaming person. I'm like, Acha, you want to design a game? He's like, no, I want to play a game, because there are companies who are paying you to play a game as well. So what is that second source of income you want to generate? Just read through this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and I'm like, I want to be that rich dad, right? So think of a second stream. Moshmi, you want to add?
Nothing much. I think layoff are the hard realities of working and being in the corporate sector. Uh, and I think hiring is a good reality and which will always continue. So let's be optimist and work towards it. I think that's the only thing we all can do.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Derek Madan, specializing in
Derek,
Devik.
Devik.
Yes,
Yeah.
specializing in personal management and human resource development, interned at CBRE. So my question is like, Cummins is a global DAI leader. So how do you guys adopt the global diversity and inclusion practices in the workforce and the cultural realities of India?
So yes, when you work in Cummins, you will know that Cummins is a D&I pioneer in the industry in India specifically. If you see manufacturing industry, I think Cummins is the benchmark. And why I can proudly say it, because I have worked in different other organizations. While Tata's also do a lot in terms of DEIC, but the practices that Cummins have are uh, really very, very forward looking and very, very first in the market to get those kind of policies and practices in terms of DNI. So yes, it is. Do you want me to share some of the practices? Was it
Yes, yes.
that? All right. So I think Cummins was the one of the first organization. I think the place where I work, the Fulton mega site of Cummins, where we have 10 plants, we have a big state-of-art daycare facility that we provide for not only women but for men. So we have more men getting their children at work rather than females. If you see the Balewadi office, the Cummins India office campus, again you see more men getting their children than women. So I think it's absolutely gender neutral these days, and I would not say it's only for some gender, but men women both utilize the facility and has been appreciated very well across, whether it is a manufacturing site or whether it's a corporate office. We have a lot of women in the shop floor working in night shift. I think in Maharashtra, as night shift are allowed, Cummins was one of the first entities to start having night shift for women. And the kind of facilities we give women, the pickup and drop facility, the kind of safety and the culture that we have in Cummins, I would just give the credit entirely to the culture that we have developed in Cummins, which is above and beyond diversity inclusion. I would say that, and that's something. And the facilities, the safety, security that we provide to our women talent who come for the night shift roles is again something commendable. Not many people can do. Many organizations can give those kind of benefits. I think a lot of flexibility is there around. Again, this is just not gender specific, it's absolutely gender neutral. So while we think that these are very gender specific roles, to all the gentlemen around, these are all gender neutrals, and I see men taking equal benefits of all these at the workplace. And I think Ajit can add a little bit more on the DEIs.
Okay, thank you, Tevik, for that question. I was talking to your ma'am in the morning that the philosophy we have toward diversity is that Cummins should reflect the diversity that we have in our society, which means the diversity in Cummins should reflect diversity in India. So when you have 50% of women in India, why don't you have 50% women in Cummins India? We are currently at 33%. That's the one third of our uh, employee force is women, except HR, where we have 60% women in HR. I'm the minority one there. So 33%. So, and the idea is to have that kind of diversity where you have a gender neutral organization, equal number of men and female. If there are 10 people, percent of our population in Northeast, so why don't you have 10% of your employees from Assam or Odisha or that kind of situation? We take pride in hiring PWDs, people with disabilities, and you have point some percent of PWDs in India. Why don't you have that representation in Cummins India? I think that's the philosophy that drives us in terms of diversity. And India is a nation of diversity. We not get trained for this. That's inbuilt in our DNA that we are a diverse country. That's my first thing. Second, in terms of culture inclusion, I think one of the practice that really makes us stood apart is in case you join Cummins, any one of us, be it a flexi employee, be it a person joining shop floor or a director level or a MD level person, all of goes through a program which is called Right Environment Every Time, where you are taught about what is value, why it is so extremely important to follow right environment every time. You could follow anything outside the premises. Once you are inside Cummins, these are the behaviors we expect you to do. Every town hall, every quarterly review where you see leaders coming, and the first thing they will talk about is diversity, equity, inclusion, culture, and if anybody misbehaved in the organization, what is the action we have taken, so that people are trained and then they know that in case you don't follow this right environment perspective, there will be a action against you. So I think that's how broadly accept the best practices Moshmi talked about. I just wanted to add these 2 pointers. Thank you for that question.
Due to shortage of time, we will have one last question.
Yeah, I think we have done with all the questions. Last question, yeah, quickly.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Kushi Dubey, specializing in PM and HR from BIMM, intern at Bajaj. Ma'am, my question to you is, as a female site leader, have you ever faced challenges with the blue collars employees? And if yes, then how did you overcome from that? Them?
Best question for last.
Ajit, and this question will remain here only, and it's not going out in comments some anywhere else. So I would personally say that, not only in this organization, I've worked in several manufacturing organizations, be it Cummins, Indian organization, or be it MNC. Cummins has a very different culture altogether. Uh, Personally speaking, I have not faced any such challenges working with blue collar. Uh, and I am quite at comfort. And I would tell all of you that there is no difference in whether they are blue collared or white collared. It just remains the same. I would personally say that managing blue collar, if you develop that trust, that level of credibility in front of them, would be much more easier than managing the white collar group of employees. So no, I have not faced. In fact, I quite enjoy interacting with them, talking to them. And when I had joined Cummins, I had told somebody that I have experience in working in most of the unionized setup. The plant in which I was working was not unionized first up till some time back, but it is unionized now. So don't tell that to anybody, Ajit, that I have an experience earlier working in a unionized setup, and it just doesn't matter whether you are a man or a woman. It matters how you interact with people, what kind of trust you develop with them, and that's how it worked. Nothing. And whether they are men, women, blue collared, white collared, it just doesn't matter. Trust me, we feel this is an apprehension we all have in our mind, but no, it just doesn't. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now may I request Dr. Archana Srivastav, Director, BIMM, to present a token of gratitude to Mr. Ajit Talreja. And now may I request Ashish Vaidya, Senior Student Manager, to present a token of gratitude to Madam Mausami Roy Chaudhary.
I now invite my colleague Ashish Vaidya to propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Kushagra. Thank you, Sarita. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I, Senior Student Manager Ashish Vaidya from BIMM, specializing in PM and HRD, interned at SIABLA Opening Solutions in the L&D department. On behalf of our institute, would like to extend a sincere gratitude to each one of you present here for making this event truly significant. We express our deepest thanks to our esteemed guest, Madam Mosmi Roy and Mr. Ajit Talreja. Your valuable insights and expertise have greatly enhanced our understanding. This thought provoking session has deeply inspired and motivated us. The key points discussed in the session are first one, career readiness. So, self awareness and self SWOT analysis will help us to shape our DNA of career. Second is 3D. 3Ds are not just limited to our campus, but they will also help to navigate our career as well. Third is the agility. Agility is the fuel which will power the vehicle of career progression. Fourth is AI. AI is like your own personal intern. With the right inputs, it will do wonders for you. These remarkable These remarkable insights will surely help us in achieving our goals and succeeding in our corporate life. I'm sure our students will not only imbibe but also adapt and emulate the culture at Cummins in the years to come. We deeply appreciate you for sharing knowledge and contributing for our better future. I would also like to thank all my fellow batchmates, faculty members, and also the directors for supporting us. I would also like to thank my institute for providing us with such enriching opportunities. Thank you everyone for attending today's session. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Could we all rise? We would like to take one photograph with you all in the background. Come, come, come.